And oh, hold on, not yet. Maybe.
Those are live. Yep. Never live.
Oh, I didn't even look at. Just it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's fine. That's fine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a year and a half, just about, of us being in this Pandarita,
Panoramic.
panoramic.
Panasonic.
Oh my gosh, so many names. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be any end in sight, honestly.
For what?
But in this episode, we talked to Jason about what it means to pivot in when you're in this kind of situation. We don't always have like a global pandemic or a tragedy or disaster that happens, and that would cause us to like reshape focus on this grand of a scale.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of people had to learn how to pivot during this season. What about you?
Season?
It's because this is not a lifetime thing. We may be wearing masks for the rest of our lives, but there's always going to be something else.
We feel like that's going to be worse.
I mean, there's always going to be something else. If it's not the flu, it's pneumonia. If it's not pneumonia, it's because remember we had SARS, Ebola, swine flu,
Ebola.
H1N1. Like there were so many. Oh my gosh!
Didn't say don't eat beef.
The mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. I remember we found that out on our way to Irvine. Was it Irvine?
I just remember they don't eat beef. We couldn't have it for what?
Yeah,
for a minute.
Yeah, I want to say it's for a few months. It was like no beef.
It's about a biscuit.
And when we did have beef, we were like easing into it. Like, ugh, I don't know about this, but it seems like there's always going to be something. There's always going to be a reason to panic. What has kept you solid? Like you're still here.
Yeah.
So what has kept you solid during this pandemic?
Like where I don't lose my mind?
I didn't say that you didn't lose your mind. I'm just saying with you still being here, because everybody didn't make it. Suicide rates went up, and people just started giving up hope and started giving up, everything because they just like life just changed so drastically that they couldn't see beyond the next thing. So, what is keeping you grounded?
I got goals. I got dreams.
I had a dream too.
Oh my gosh. No, I actually have things I want to accomplish. And pretty much similar to what y'all said, I don't want to live in fear because that's going to stop me. And then I'm going to be like, I can't do it anymore. But no, for real. I got goals, and especially I want to see my kids grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm doing everything that I can. Exactly what I say. But anyways, I want to do everything that I can to make sure that happens.
So, yeah. Sometimes people have to like get outside themselves. There was I'm trying to remember who I was listening to, but there was a guy who I was listening to who was saying that, the people who are in these existential crises, like, why am I here? What's the point of life? What are we doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
All these things are so caught up with wondering about life that they're forgetting to live it. But if you ask a mom in the middle of her basketball, soccer, dinner schedule, what's the point of life? She's like, I'm doing it. Like I'm like this.
I'm doing the thing already.
This is it. Or if you ask somebody who's won a Nobel Peace Prize or who's achieving goals, what is the point of life? And they're just like that. We're doing the thing, so we don't have to question it.
I just feel like they're not living.
Hi.
They're just not living their I feel like one, they're afraid, and then also they're not living because of they're constantly thinking, I'm supposed to be doing this already, whatever the thing may be. Or to me, how I see it as when people say like, oh, I have to, the only reason I'm living is because of this main thing, that they're not enjoying the moment that it takes to get to that thing or to accomplish that thing. They're just so headstrong, like, nope, I gotta get straight to this path, and once I'm there, that's my end goal. That's it. That's all said and done.
I was born to be a pianist, and I'm only going to be a pianist. My life revolves around the piano, and then something happens and they break their finger and their life is over.
They have nothing else going for them, and they're just like, no, that's all that was supposed to do.
Yeah, this is it. This is all I was put here for, is to play the piano.
What is it? Oh, that was his purpose. Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
No, that's not your purpose. Figure it out. Something else. Try something new. Get a hobby. It's not that hard.
Well, some people don't have that privilege of learning how to pivot or move or even like I talk to so many people in management and talk to people who are under me, and a lot of them don't understand this, how to transfer their skills from one industry or position to another. And it's not just about learning how to master transferring skills, but it's about knowing that, okay, I can do these things really well. How many different industries can I do this thing in? Like me, I love doing quality assurance. I love doing quality control.
Me too.
I love like matching up paperwork. Tell me what it's supposed to look like. If this is not right, I can go back and coach.
It's a lot of work.
I really like, I enjoy, that's one thing. It's really easy for me. I enjoy doing it. I'm always learning new things, but learning how to do quality control is something that I can apply from finance to education to the music industry to almost anything really. I can apply that anywhere, but a lot of people learn a very specific, small, esoteric set of skills that can only be used in this one space. It's like instead of having like a Swiss Army knife, you only have the avocado peeler. You know, the avocado kitchen tool? Or only like the egg separator?
Yes.
Or only like a potato or apple peeler? Like you can only do this one thing. It's like, no, people are built to learn how to do many different things.
Now, do you think it's lack of knowledge or laziness?
Hi,
Lenora. Hi, Ricky. I feel like that kind of go hand in hand, where it's like, I only have this set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
And this set of skills only goes for this one particular position, this role. And it can't go towards something else. Why? Because you don't want to try?
I've only ever seen it done this way. I've only ever seen it used like this. And because I've only ever seen it used like this, my mind thinks that this is the only way I can use it. Like if you ask a kid to show them a fire person, they're not going to pick up a woman because all the fire stuff is firemen. It's always the man in a hat.
Oh, my kids are going to see, but
I'm just saying.
No.
Like both, like, so if you don't see your skills, like if you were a carpenter and you've only made chairs, it doesn't take that far to leap from a chair to a table. But it takes a little bit more to leap from a table to a house. So maybe it's that trying it out and going from
that's a big jump.
It is, but it's doable. If you're a carpenter, you have the basic skills, and it's about broadening those horizons to get to the next big thing. But some people have only seen their skills on a smaller scale. So I won't say that it's just laziness. Mm-hmm. It could be lack of knowledge. It could be lack of exposure. I don't know why I got caught up with that. It could be lack of exposure. It could be a couple different things. But pivoting is something in this culture, especially, not even this culture, but this time that we're in society, where a lot of young people are doing more gigs than anything.
Side hustle.
Yeah. It's a gig. I don't know why people call it hustling. Like, you're not hustling doing Uber. It's not.
I mean, well,
it's not a hustle. It's a gig.
But if that's all that they can do at this moment.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not like, that's not a hustle. A hustle is different than a gig to me. Like, those two things are not the same.
It can be the same to somebody.
But gigs are simply just short-term work that people really have to jump to do, that typically are specific to your set of skills. And if you are a great host who enjoys having people in your vehicle, going from place to place and driving around, then hey, that's your thing. But I don't think that people try to make it seem like this is such a hustle culture. Mm-hmm. It's just that people are trying to live in livable wages. No, they're trying to attain livable wages. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to say. They're trying to obtain livable wages, so they do multiple jobs so that they can attain it. Because making $7 an hour you can't live on that. So doing multiple small jobs for more money, that's how we got really into this culture, because they feel like, oh, I just need the tie over money. But let's get to the first question of the night. So in the episode, we talked a lot about pivoting and how things are different. So the first question is, how did you pivot in the pandemic?
Did I pivot in the pandemic?
Well, you were already working from home before the pandemic started, but what did you have to change, or it could have been a big pivot in perspective, a physical pivot in what you're doing and doing something else. What do you think? What do you think you had to pivot in the pandemic?
Honestly, I don't think I had to pivot anything.
The pandemic didn't affect you at all.
Honestly, no, I'm home most of the time already. Barely went out. When I went out was pretty much the grocery store, but any activities I wanted to do was always here. I was at home. And
so I'm going to talk about how I pivoted. So we're gonna refocus here. I'm gonna talk about how I pivoted. So before the pandemic, I was working in a financial center in an office, and they sent everybody home like that March. And then when everybody got sent home, I had to learn how to function at home by myself. We had a lot of ideas, like Zoom came in the clutch, like that. Zoom helped out a lot. We did sister calls, we had family calls, FaceTime video, Duo. A lot of the streaming platforms especially helped so much to keep most of the sanity. But working from home was a lot, and I had to learn how to socialize outside of being at work or being in church or being in the presence of other people. I had to learn how to socialize over video chat. But using video chat, we were able to stay connected, I think, more during the pandemic than any other time, just because everybody was home. So that's one of the ways that I really learned how to pivot. Hey, Jocelyn.
Hi, Hattie.
Janai says, it was all new, every aspect for us. New jobs, new house, new state, new school for our kids, getting COVID, feeling like crap, taking care of the house with limited access to the world. It was unknown territory, but it was necessary to get everything done. Yeah, I absolutely feel you on that, because I literally, a month after the pandemic happened, I moved into this place. And
Go ahead. I'm sorry. So sorry.
After a month after we went into quarantine, I moved into this place and had to figure out how to grocery shop, how to get all the things that I needed, and all those kinds of things. But it was just me and Colt at that point. It was just me. So my situation was a little bit different than everyone else's. But I think the thing that hurt me the most was not being able to physically embrace and socialize other people for a long time.
I can say that was one of my that I had to pivot since the pandemic. When I do go and not being able to like take my kids with me, especially like grocery shop, I was like, we legit people got masks, their gloves. This lady had a whole. It wasn't an umbrella. It was kind of like one of those tents you put on, like if you're sitting down by yourself, like you have a tent around you.
Yeah.
At the grocery store, like that to me, that was definitely new. Something that I would obviously never been in a pandemic before, so I never experienced it. But when it just came to actually going outside, and also my mindset changed as well because I'm like, I have to be cautious about who I talk to, where I'm going, and all of that. That to me, that definitely changed significantly. Even though, like I said, I'm a huge introvert. I like to be at home, and even though we do sister like games, Zoom, and everything that happen more often. So in a way, I'm glad that we still were able to connect with each other. But to me, that brought on a good thing. Like that was a good outcome from it, I'll say.
Yeah, I think the question, who all over there, has never been more important.
Yeah.
Janine says, I don't mind the social distancing. I prefer being left alone. You know what? I will say that's one thing I have appreciated because a lot of people would be close, like especially guys, they would typically walk up on me to talk to me. But now they like stand back. Yeah. I'm not feeling that. Let's see. Hey, Dad. Welcome.
Hi, Dad.
Dad says that he agrees with Janai.
About her reasoning, about how does she pivot?
Mm-hmm. And she likes the social distancing because she prefers being left alone.
Yeah, I do. Like, don't touch me.
But see, I'm the person at the airport who starts conversations.
Why? It's early. I'm cranky. I'm probably
first of all,
hungry.
First of all, it is not that early in the morning when I catch a flight.
Okay, I'd rather catch the early flights.
Listen,
I've not been on a flight though since. Who's sweating?
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
think about that.
I feel like for me, I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy getting that conversation. Like that's how I get recharged. When I'm left alone by myself for too long, it's madness.
Really?
It's shenanigans. But yeah, anybody else would like to chime in on how they pivoted during the pandemic before we go to the next question?
I'm kind of curious. Also I'll be upset though. Like say for instance, if I'm like everything is kind of back to normal when I want to travel somewhere,
mm-hmm.
and as soon as I get to the airport, like I get there like 2 hours early, just to see my flight got canceled. I'll be highly upset.
That's what was happening right in the thick of it. I think when people were tired, they were tired of the pandemic. It was almost a year ago, so it was like the end of last summer,
mm-hmm.
and people were starting to travel. Things were starting to open up a little bit, but because of the lack of tickets that were purchased, they would cancel or move the flight. Yeah. And I think it was Jocelyn, if I'm not mistaken, who called me like 3 different days because she booked her ticket a month in advance, and like up until the day of, we're canceling and changing the flight. Oh, you're not leaving on Thursday. You're going to leave on Friday morning. Oh, we moved it from Friday morning to Thursday night. So and I'm just like, so what? Be at the airport Wednesday morning and hope for the best? Like, are you flying standby?
Oh man, I would be ticked off. I'm like, okay, where's my Not reimbursement. What is it?
Yeah, my credit.
Yeah, your credit. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, I will want reimbursement. Don't give me a credit. I'm not gonna fly your airplane no more. Like, I'm good.
I want it done.
Let's see. What was an event that happened before the pandemic that gave you pause? So in the episode, we talked about how tragedy, and specifically Jason told the story of around April last year when the pandemic just started. We were told 2 weeks, and then it was a month, and then it was like until one of his associates, one of the adjunct professors in his field, took his life a little bit like in April of last year. And that really gave Jason pause, because he looked at him kind of like, okay, if I follow his path, I may be able to be a little bit higher than where I was, like a tenured professor, things like that. And there were a lot of things that happened in my life where I'll look at something and just like, ooh, whether it be a tragedy such as death, a letdown as far as a job, or a relationship that kind of gave me pause. Like my last job, and I think I talked about this a little bit before, I put in hours to create a whole new program, something that would have cost them tens of thousands of dollars. And not only did they tell me that they were giving it to somebody else, they told me that I couldn't run it. They pretty much, like, after I presented it, they took it and said, "Oh, thank you. We're going to give this to so and so to run." And from that point, like, that hurt. That was a lot, because that was like 5 months of work that I spent on that project. And what I learned at that point that gave me pause is, even though I like to do, like, I really found out that I really like to do, I really like to create programs in the learning management systems and things like that. But if I'm going to do it, I need to have a contract or something in place to protect myself so that my work is properly compensated. So if I'm doing it, it's either like a part of my job and what I want to do, or I'm being properly compensated for working on the project.
Did they ever come back to you and be like, "Thank you" or anything?
It was like, "Oh, thank you, appreciate it."
That was it.
Yeah, they just took it and said, "Oh, somebody else is gonna run it." Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have a say so, like, if you wanted to not give it to them, or it was just your job? Like,
no, from a business perspective, I understood why they did it. I wasn't a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
They had a supervisor and 2 managers who could run it. They also had what are called SMEs, which stands for subject matter experts, who could run it as well. They had a lot of people who were over me,
mm-hmm.
who had the title and or experience to run it. I just happened to be the person to create it. So they were just like, "Oh, this is great. Thanks. We're going to give it to so-and-so to run." And it was because I didn't have the title, let alone the pay raise. Like that, the pay didn't matter. I didn't have the title. They have other people, instead of giving me a raise
mm-hmm.
or giving me the title, they used the people they already had in that position. So from a business perspective, I understood, but
how come they couldn't do it
then? Yeah. No, they just accepted it. It's like, do you accept things the way they are, or do you look for a change? And they accepted that their work took 6 months to a year to understand. And I was like, no, you should be able to do this faster. Because if you can get somebody onboarded in 2 weeks as opposed to 9 months, you're saving exponential accounts, right? So there's exponential savings rather. That's how my brain works.
Oh.
Their brain was just like, well, this is the way it is. This is how we're going to do it, and that's pretty much it.
Changing it.
And I was just like, no, there should be a way to fix it. So I did what I knew how to do, worked with a team, put everything together, and they were just like, yeah, so thanks.
Ain't that bad a biscuit?
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I would be highly upset.
I did learn my lesson though. I learned my lesson. I learned that was a good $15,000 lesson I learned.
Good grief.
Yeah, on the low end for the work that I did on the low end, because that's 5 months worth of work. Yeah, that's so on the low end. That's a $15,000 lesson I learned.
That was a hard lesson to learn.
I've learned a lot harder, but that one, absolutely. Like, and it's funny because I never really put into dollars before, but when I start looking at consulting agencies and what they cost, I was like,
you just getting free work pretty much.
Okay,
doing your job plus more.
I just like things easy. Really. Dad says that company wouldn't be around after doing some mess like that. Title or not pay you. You worked. It pay you for the work you've done. Don't use you for their capital gain. Why are there so many? Is that gasoline and a fire?
A fire? Well, I thought that was an eagle at first, but it looks like wood.
Why
are you burning stuff?
Why are we trying to burn this place down? I don't understand.
That was sort of bonfire.
No, what are you talking about? We're just in the parking lot. Sir, if you are not in the parking lot, you are actually in the lobby. If you can go ahead and take all of that equipment with you.
No, for what?
Yeah, no.
I just wanna, this was a little cold in here, guys.
No, it was absolutely a hard lesson to learn, but I think it was very necessary because it made me refocus to do what I want to do, whether I had the experience or not. And I promise you, I leveraged that experience. Because of that, that's something that I lead with on my they're like, hey, any projects that you worked on? Absolutely. I worked on this project and we saved the savings were exponential and da-da-da-da. And they're like, really? You took that upon yourself to do it yourself? Absolutely. Okay. Hired.
But wouldn't you feel that if you already hired, got the job, and they're asking like, hey, was there any projects that you've done? And they're like, and then you tell them, yeah, like I completed this project for your previous position that you were in. And they're like, okay, well, can you elaborate? Like, tell me about the project. Let's get the ball rolling so that you can do the same project for them. What would be your response?
So that is the lesson that I learned. It would be a conversation like, hey, thank you for the opportunity to work on this project. The work that I am doing now takes up a good 80% of my time. It's 13%, whatever. It takes up a good 80% of my time. I would be glad to prioritize with you and talk about because especially if it's outside of my role, like if I am, let's see, if they want to pull me into training, but I'm working on the floor, then I would look for a title change and a pay increase. So I would have the conversation, I appreciate the opportunity. Is this a new role that you are trying to pursue or that you would like me to pursue? Or are you creating a space for me to move into this position? But if they say, no, we want to keep you doing what you're doing and blah, blah, blah. Thank you. You know what? Thank you for thinking of me. But right now I am at capacity. If you would like, excuse me. No lie, I almost said who hit me. I was really about to say who hit me.
Right next to you.
But I would talk about, I would just ask, I would tell them that my expectation is that if they're looking at me doing that type of project, even if it's for short term, because those projects can go anywhere from a few weeks to a few years, depending on how in depth it is. And if they want me to do it, they're going to need to pay me with a title change if I'm not already in that role. If I'm already in that role, then it's just about pay and capacity at that point. Because I'm not doing a job of 5.
I'm always nervous about, like, especially, like, I don't mind doing something outside of my position, only if there is, like, they initiate, like, yeah, there's going to be a title change or a pay raise. But if I have to initiate, you don't pay me more for this, or like what's going to happen after I complete this, because I need to know right then and there. But I don't know why I get so nervous about doing that, because I'm like,
because if they, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But no, because I was saying, because I don't want to be where they're like, Kayla, go ahead and complete this project, and then it's like I asked them about it, and they was like, okay, well, you know what, never mind, we're gonna give it to somebody else who really wants to do it. One, I don't want to miss an opportunity, because I feel like that will probably put me in the right direction or the next step to, I was about to say level up, to go into a different role or a new role.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't want it to be frowned upon where it's just like, oh, so she's really here for the money. Yeah.
That's what the job is. I don't come here for free.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like, this is exactly what I'm here for, to get paid.
You hired me on a bi-weekly basis. If I don't get a check, I am not showing up.
So that's why I'm just like, it's I don't know why I feel like it's a bad thing to have that nervous feeling when it comes to like asking for my pay to increase.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, at the same time, like, Kayla, know your worth. Like, know what exactly is you like. One, especially when I do something that I know I'm really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I like, yeah, it's worth it to get whatever amount. I don't know if the exact amount that I say, but like even with negotiating, but it just always, especially with a big company, I'm like, can I get this or just $1 more?
Here's the thing. So I think about it like this. So they taking on an opportunity is twofold. One, the company wants to, either your manager or supervisor is looking for a way to get you recognized, put your name in rooms that you're not in.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. It builds your personal brand. I don't know why we're using that term nowadays, but that's what it is. They're building up your reputation so that if you are doing projects and things like that, oh, Kayla knows how to do that. Kayla was really good on this project, or we should look at Kayla for this, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. It puts your name in rooms that you haven't been in yet. The second part of that is they really want to be able to look for the talent they have within, so they don't have to go outside to pay other people to do it. That's where you have to figure out if you have the capacity at this point to take on that new project. Mm-hmm. So if you are I'll do the first one free, depending on what the first one is. If the first one is not too invasive, then I'll do the first one. Oh, hey, this project would be a good project for you to work on, blah, blah, blah. What does it entail? If it's more than, 2 or 3 months, probably not going to commit to it because of my first project, then I don't really want to do anything like that long term. But if it's under 3 months, cool. I hop on this project, meet some people, shadow a couple different people, talk to your manager regularly, very candidly. They are human, about what your expectations are, especially during your mid-year. Hey, I am planning to move into this type of role. In 5 years, I see myself doing X. Whether it's true or not, your story has to line up. Like, you have to create a clear picture so that when you pitch, hey, I do want to work on this project. The capacity that I have right now allows me to do well on this project. However, I want to know, what is it going to take for me to get a raise? And okay, you tell me ABC. If I do ABC, is that going to guarantee me a raise, or is that just going to make me look better for a raise?
Up in the air about it.
That is why you need to have a very candid conversation with your human manager, because I know there are things that they can and cannot say. They already have like an idea of how much they're able to dole out. It's like 1 to 3% per employee or something like that. But you have to go in knowing that, like, naming your accomplishments, not just that you showed up on time and did what you were supposed to do. Those are not accomplishments. That is the bare minimum.
I feel like it is. It
takes
so much work to be on time.
Being on time and doing the work that you're supposed to do is not at all above and beyond or raise worthy. That is, you get the money that you signed up for. That's all that is.
Especially if I clock in a minute early, y'all better be applauding me.
Have you mentored anybody? Have you looked for other mentoring opportunities? Have you increased in education? Do you have another degree? Have you been certified in anything
I'm currently
recently?
in the process of getting a
You're
degree.
in the process, but you haven't completed anything. So
hey, give my flowers while they're.
I know, but
blooming.
what I'm saying is when you're going in for a raise or talking about trying to get more out of your employer, you have to go in armed and ready. Look, I have mentored X amount of people. I'm a part of these groups that help these other people. I have lent my abilities and capabilities to these projects, and they have went off very well. I have been involved in training opportunities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you say that you've done all those things, then it's like, okay, cool. But you want to know before you start jumping out there and doing all these things, what is it going to take for you to get a raise? So at year end, at mid-year, hey, I started doing all these things. What can I do to get a raise? Well, we're looking for people to do XYZ. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I do XYZ, am I going to get a raise? And if they can't commit to the number, then hey, maybe it might be time to go look elsewhere.
But elsewhere is not available.
I'm just putting it out there. Mm-hmm. Sorry about such a long aside. I just wanted to answer those questions. I didn't know if you had those questions. So we talked about pivoting. We talked about things that gave us pause. What are some signs that things are getting back to normal? In the episode, Jason was stating that there's really no normal for him. It's just like accepting things how they are, kind of rolling with the punches. We had some kind of normalcy, which is just, for me, normalcy is just things that keep recurring. Like it wasn't normal to see or hear the president's name in the news every day for the last 5 years. But it became a normal thing during that time period. Like if somebody's doing their job well, like the IT people, you would never hear about them. Like only time you hear about IT is when something has gone wrong. So what are some signs do you think that you are looking for to understand when things are getting back to normal? Not back to normal, but are getting to be normal.
To me, personally, I don't think it's going to ever be back to normal. I feel like this is the new normal.
So what is that? What is normal?
A rise in cases. Everywhere you go, well, pretty much depends on where you go. Wearing your mask, still social distance. To me, I feel like it's the same as when we were quarantined, but not so limited or not.
So you think this right here, what we're doing, is normal?
Yeah, because we've been doing it for so long already. Like I can't see past what's going on right now, because then I don't want to put that time frame where it's like, okay, by this month or this year, we should be back to how it was before the whole pandemic even happened.
But see, I don't even want to go back. If we think about like, it's only because things are not as great as we look at the past. Like, oh, we look at the past, things were so awesome. They were so this, they were so that. I don't want to go back to anything. I don't want to revert back to anything. I want to move forward into what the current normal is. So it may not be that we, get on Spirit to go to Miami every other weekend. It could be that we're still masked up in larger spaces like an airport or a concert or whatever. I would hope things would get, like, when things get back to normal, I think it would be when things become normal, it would be probably going to see the elders in the community without fear of contracting anything or giving them anything.
A lot of people are just, they're going to go see them, but they're staying outside, and the elders like on the front porch.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I like that is the new normal, because to me, there's no telling when this is all gonna come to an end. Because now I see a lot of people are talking about they got it again. I was like, wait, I thought you only can get it one time.
No, it's like the flu.
That's I'm like, but thank God I haven't gotten it. My kids haven't gotten it. You haven't gotten it. I pray.
I mean, I had it when unofficially. I had it when in February, when everything before everything, like right before it came out to us. I got it, and that was a lot. Rachel says, when my kids are in school for a full day and not a half. Do kindergartners go to school for a full day?
Really? I thought it was a full day.
I thought kindergartners go to school from 8 to 12.
I know down school he's going to full day. Yeah. But you know, to me, the crazy thing is, I don't remember what state it was.
Oh, hi, Rachel. I thought we spoke to you before. Hi, Rachel.
I think it's Texas. Johnson will know. You have to either show a current negative COVID test within 72 hours or your vaccine card to go inside of a gym, restaurants, and it was something else. Not a grocery store.
A few states are doing that. Yeah.
But I was just like, so pretty much you can only go grocery shopping.
Yeah, it looks like getting tested is like the new normal. And I was a person, I didn't want to go near any testing centers because that's like going to the hospital when you're not sick. That's where all the sick people are. Like, do I have COVID? I know I would probably catch it. Yeah. Like,
no matter how wrapped up you can be,
especially when one person is going inside of everybody's car. Yeah. Nah,
I saw this video, and this guy was highly upset because he caught COVID after the fact. He went to it was like one of those testing sites where they go tent, and I don't know if the person was new. I don't know. I don't know if it was the nurse, whoever was conducting his test. They put the thing inside of his nose and then inside of his mouth. And I was
Jesus!
I think you're doing this wrong.
No.
I was like, oh, this is so nasty.
I question all healthcare workers. I question them every time they try to do something to me. What is that? What are you giving me? Yeah. Where does that go? Hold on.
Oh my god.
What does this do? It's a full day. Tell us how you really feel, Rachel.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, exactly. Janai, like, no, absolutely not. And, yeah, go ahead.
And I was saying, the crazy thing is because when I was pregnant with Dylan, and I just felt super sick. And I remember I did get it. It was like the long little stick thing that they put in your nose, but they said I had an adenoid virus. I don't think it was yet the COVID called COVID, but I was like,
when was this?
When I was pregnant with Dylan.
Dylan is a year. He'll be 2.
But this was in July, either July or August of 2019. And I remember it was July, because I had to take off of work for about 3 weeks. I did not feel good at all. And I was thinking, did I have it, but didn't know it was COVID? Because I remember, especially looking at the symptoms and what else is called, it is your adenoids as well. And I was just like, oh.
I don't have any adenoids, and I was still down. Like, my fever stayed up.
Yeah.
Like, I broke my fever 4 times, and it just kept coming right back. And I was just like, there's just no way. there's just no way.
You like, I don't like it. Yeah.
I was in a shower. I took a hot shower. I got under I put on a thermal, a hoodie, a sweater, and a big coat. Like, I was wearing my hoodie blanket, and I was under the covers.
You still feel cold?
I started to warm up. I would just start to warm up. But every time I would break, I would sweat out everything, and then I would break the fever, and it would come right back, and I couldn't breathe. I was moving in slow motion. My friend Denise was just like,
what do I do?
what I need, and I just called her. I was like, hey, I need you to take me to the hospital.
You were asking
And
voice.
so
Did you have ginger ale?
The funny thing is, I had ginger ale and crackers the first night. I thought it was just the flu. I was like, okay, cool, got the flu, whatever. But November of 2019, somebody came to our Bible study and was ill and got everybody at the Bible study sick. She was just, I'm not going to touch anybody.
You know what?
I'm not going to blah,
I
blah,
feel
blah.
like who knows that they're ill and still decides to come around people, I need some type of compensation.
I did not sign paperwork that releases you of any ailments I face. You are paying for my ginger ale and my premium saltine crackers.
Like, for real. I'm just like, because I can't. My thing is, I can't stand that. You're sick.
No, I'm getting over it. No, you are not. Your voice is not back.
Contagious.
I just couldn't be on the phone. I wanted to be around y'all.
It is not. First of all,
Jesus is everywhere. So are germs. If you don't get your whole life together,
have this as an individual, personal worship experience. Okay,
yeah,
by yourself.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Rachel says you probably feel like you were in an igloo. My everything was cold, but I was wrapped up tighter than a burrito. Janae says, side note, what's the words to more abundantly?
You know what? We already had this conversation earlier today. It's the Vicky Diller song.
Oh.
Yes, and other lyrics.
I thought it was because your teeth won't let you be great. Because sometimes your lips be trying to say words, but your teeth are just like, no, not today.
I saw myself in a video and I was like, what is
the way you whisper in church.
But you know what I'm saying?
Show the people how you whisper in church. Kayla will be like, I just told you to tell her to meet us outside. What was all that? I don't understand. You okay? You all right? You okay?
No.
Okay. Rachel, why is that crackers and soda are the first remedies to being sick? Listen.
Because you need to go lay down after you have your ginger ale.
You don't want to go to sleep on an empty stomach, okay? You want to go ahead and eat a little bit of something and let the ginger ale settle your stomach. You need that good belch. What that ginger ale is going to do is going to go down there and get you a good belch to come up. And once you get that good belch, your stomach will settle and you can go to sleep.
Ooh, especially when you put the vapor rub on. Oh, man.
I don't be doing all that.
Really?
It's too hot.
What do you mean it's too hot?
I do the vapor. Listen, if y'all have not tried it, either get eucalyptus and dry eucalyptus, wrap it in a bindle, put it above your shower. But if you don't do that, go to CVS or Walgreens. Get you vapor pods. They also have them at Walmart.
Yeah, those are strong.
Those are the truth. When Dale and Dylan had runny noses, any of the kids, when they have runny noses, you about to get in the shower? All right, let me go ahead and drop the tab in there, and it will steam up everything and release out everything. So all that runny nose and all that kind of stuff, clear your ears, everything.
And they haven't had since what, May? Since we've been here. They haven't had.
I don't do sick kids, so I was like, yes, put 2 in there. We want to make sure nobody gets sick. Yeah, you laugh so hard. You all right? She don't know how to whisper in church.
I do not.
She don't, because when I be like,
see, now you're gonna make me feel self-conscious. I talk like this now.
I've been telling you this for years. You cannot now all of a sudden be self-conscious that you don't know how to whisper in church.
I do know how to whisper. Moving along.
No, tell the people how you whisper.
No, I'm talking normal.
Tell the people, because you talk with your teeth and not your mouth.
You know what? You're trifling. That's all I know.
Oh, and don't let there be H's. I'm like, what are you asking? Why are you delivering a whole monologue? All we did was say we're going outside. Just meet us at the car. We're leaving early. Kayla's, are you ready to go in churches?
That's why I just text you. You know, you know what? You know what? I'm not gonna say anything else.
Are you gonna whisper it?
No.
Why not? Why not? And then, yeah, that's what it is. As soon as we ask you what, you be like, and you laugh just so big and wide, and I'm just like, I don't even know what's funny.
You know what?
What are you looking forward to when this is all over? When we are officially done with this pandemic, when the world is some semblance of normalcy, even if normal is what we're doing today, 5 years from now. What are you looking forward to?
Same thing I'm looking forward to today. I mean, my life.
Are you going to elaborate or what?
Yeah, I was. My life hasn't stopped, so I'm still moving forward, still working, still healthy, still trying to be healthy as possible. Get my degree. Like, my life hasn't stopped. That I'm not gonna put my life on hold just to hope that this is all over or the world gets back to normal. But the biggest thing right now, what I'm looking forward to, is completing my degree. To me, that's a big step that I've taken. And
you did.
Yeah.
Good job.
Really. But truthfully, I'll probably say not having to wear a mask. Like, still back, getting my space.
We're still breathing the same air.
I know, but I just don't like people coming to me and just touch me. For what?
You know, that's really the reason why I wear a mask in public.
What, so people don't
talk to me. That's the only time. Because if I don't wear a mask, people are here.
Yeah, no, but that to me, that would be the one thing I would say that I'm looking forward to when it's all over. It's just the whole mask part of it, and then also people will still wash their nasty hands.
So nasty. I just like the one thing that I have realized is that as nasty as I think people are, they're even nastier. Yeah. Like
you know, side note, you know how when people who can't cook because they may have the virus or whatever the case may be, there's this lady who decided to make pretty much dishes for her family members, and she never washed her hands. She kept feeding her dog. Like, the dog was sitting, like the front paws were on the countertop, and she kept feeding the dog the meat, and then she'll still do like the chicken and everything, and she's like, "Oh, this is gonna be really good, you know, I'm doing something very nice," but so nonchalant about the fact that she's feeding her dog the raw meat and still touching everything. I was like, I get the concept that you want to help, but I feel like you're making everything worse. Like, that is so nasty. Like, no. People, I get it that people may not have the means to cook or whatever the case may be, go grocery shopping. It is a nice idea, but you're just nasty. Like,
Cole would lose his life.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, why is your animal in the kitchen with you when you're cooking?
Yeah,
that's even worse than the lady who was cooking and the dog started chewing on some of the bacon and she was like, "Oh, it's okay." And then she folded the bacon back over. Who does it? Why are you doing that?
Meatballs, and then she had chicken on the side, and I was like, you know what?
I don't even know. Yeah, that's what I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, I hope just people stay.
Yeah, no.
What is that?
Hygienic?
Yeah, hygienic.
Janae says that she's looking forward to going to church without a mask. Are y'all masked up at church in Texas? I know a lot of places are.
They're not mandated anymore to wear the mask.
A lot of places have dropped the mandate, but they have changed the mandate. They didn't drop it. They've changed the mandate so that people are self-policing. So yeah, so if you have the vaccine, but now they changed it because if you had the vaccine, no mask. But if you didn't have the vaccine, you have to wear a mask. But now they're changing it because the Delta variant is spreading so rapidly that everybody should be wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, she has to wear a mask everywhere.
We go on base and it's mandated for all the. Oh.
I didn't know that.
I don't know why I keep forgetting that your church is on base.
My mind, I thought she was still going to doggone Canaan.
Oh, Canaan?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
she goes to church every Sunday on that. What is that? 2,500 miles.
I really thought. I don't know. For a second, I was like,
man, Kayla's on some other stuff. Yeah. Oh, you're still. Yeah. I think that. Oh. We're still members of Canaan. Okay, there were two.
Yeah, I was
messages.
like, we're still.
Yeah,
it's okay. You hit enter a little too early. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space Podcast Recap. 59 episodes.
I know.
It's like every episode is a little celebration.
It's close to 100.
I have appreciated, not even that, like, even if, I just want to appreciate every episode that we do, because it's one more episode than I thought we would have made.
Wow. Okay.
I'm honest with myself. I don't complete a lot of things. So,
yeah, you don't.
So that is not the kind of support that I'm looking for right now.
I support you still.
I was going to do a shout out to you, but now we're not.
That's not very nice. What was that?
Do you have anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I have an Instagram page where I post daily about my son, Daniel, my oldest son. He's autistic and
did you say motor son?
Oldest son?
Daniel, my oldest son. Is that what you said?
Yes, my oldest son.
You want to enunciate? Because I was sitting right next to you. I can only imagine what the people heard.
My oldest son, Daniel, made an Instagram page for him, just pretty much posting almost every other day. Trying to get better at it. Just pretty much how he views the world through his eyes. Little fun stuff, activities, and the way he communicates. So if you want to follow, it's Daniel's Path of Life on Instagram, and I would greatly appreciate it. I will follow back.
So we just did this cool project where we Daniel wanted to help me paint this, but I was like, you have your own, so kindly leave your paint out of my stuff.
Why?
So because I can do it myself.
It was a family activity.
First, they had their own boards. Anyway, that's not why I brought this up. I brought this up because this is something cool that you can do. School is about to start. Maybe you need a little Saturday activity. These are like a few dollars at not even a few dollars.
It was you get a pack of 5 for $10.
Yeah, so $2
at Target.
So go to Target, get you a couple canvases. Even if you can't get the canvases, just do paper. We use masking tape to spell out the name, and then do your paint. I was a little bit more creative, like with letting you see different colors. The boys wanted all the colors
to be one
mixed together.
Kind of a brown tannish color. Yeah,
So if you want any ideas, make sure you hit up Kayla's page right there, right here.
Wow.
It's not mirrored, so I can't say. So Dale's Path of Life, and make sure that it's not mirrored. This is my left hand, not my right.
I know. So, what I'm saying.
Oh my. Anyways, let me do my outro. Jesus.
You easily did just this right here.
That's you.
I know. You be stressing me out. Oh my gosh.
That's literally you. That's not me.
Me out.
Thank y'all so much. Please make sure y'all share, y'all like, y'all subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back with you next week. Kayla and I will actually be doing an episode next week. I'm really happy and excited about that one. So we look forward to chatting with you. Next live is going to be on Thursday. We have a family call Friday, so we'll be live next Thursday. So we'll see you then. Have a great
Bye.
week. Bye. Oh, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Janai. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Jocelyn. And thank you, Lenora. Thank you, everybody. Jocelyn, Rachel, Janai, Dad, Lenora. Yep. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.